different walls. I want you to share with us what is your actual construct of social impact, because you come from a different vantage point. You were in the thick of it. Share with us what your construct of social impact was, or is, for that matter.
Sure. My view is that everyone has social impact. The issue is whether you're having a positive one or a negative one. The world is driven by values. The only question is, what is your value? Resources are directed differently by nonprofits or by people who care about their community, by churches. We take a longer term view. And oftentimes when we start to get into the conversation I'm having now about whether or not we maximize profits, we're looked down upon. The issue isn't whether or not we maximize profit. The issue is whether we maximize short-term profit. Because a longer term view is different than a shorter term view. So those that have a short term view are trying to wring out of the resources every piece of profit they can get, even to the point where it becomes useless. We have brownfield issues where property is contaminated, excuse me, because the people didn't care about what they did on the short term and it had long-term impact. But by the time it had that long-term impact, oftentimes the people in charge, the owners or the executives, are long gone. So they don't have to suffer the consequences. We need to have people who are more concerned with the longer term, that churches, nonprofits, in general, they're not perfect, by the way, but in general, we try to leverage the resources, maintain the resources, cultivate the resources for a longer term impact. We need to have a conversation about the not just the why, but the how we do what we do, so that we have that positive impact. We have a different view about what is possible with our resources, what we should do with our resources, and what the long-term impact of our resources. I hope all the decisions I make with the opportunities that I have to make decisions around resources, people can reflect on them 30 years later, 40 years later, 50 years later, and say, yeah, he did the right thing by that community. Not just by himself, but by that community. That's how we are judged, because I'm a pastor. We should be taking a longer term view, dare I say, an eternity view to what we're doing, not just a today's view, but we should be taking a longer term view.